Hello and welcome everybody to the 1930s. The 1930s is an interesting time in the world. Great Depression going on. A decade removed from the Great War, and then followed by World War II. I guess World War II started in the 30s, but it was a rough time for the world. And you look at golf in the 1930s. Let me think. Walter Hagen won his last major in, I believe it was 29. So 1 year out of Bobby Jones, I think, won his last in 1930. And then obviously the Masters started. The very first Masters, this club's from the 30s, the very first Masters started in 1934. Horton Smith, I believe. Gene Sarazen won in 35. So the 1930s, like Augusta National. People think about Augusta National. Now it's like a national treasure of just this garden picturesque golf course. When you look at pictures, I looked for some free pictures, I couldn't find any, but like when you look at the old pictures of Augusta National, it's like not pretty. It's like that rundown, or brand new, I should say, Muni course, just tons of little baby trees everywhere, and there's dirt piles, and it's just kind of like, it was still a young course. It's not what so we think about the Masters, we're like, oh, it must have been so pristine. No, it wasn't. It was just another golf course. So it's just fun how it's aged and developed, and it really shows how golf has matured. Like, I'm sure the greens now are way faster than they were on that first, golf equipment, golf greenskeepers equipment has developed a lot also in the last 100 years, 93 years, however long it's been. So this club really grabbed my attention because this exemplifies the 1930s. The USGA, the British, is it the GA? Whatever, has allowed steel shafted clubs by this point in the 1930s. And so manufacturers are moving to the steel clubs because people are sick of hickory shafts breaking, not necessarily on the course. To me, with my experience with hickory shafts and aluminum shafts, the biggest time they break is, for me, when they're in transit. You get them off of the airplane and you're just like, oh, why? Why is this sheared in half, Steel clubs. I had a steel club once. I was going to California. I don't know where it happened. It could have happened anywhere, from Ohio, to California, somewhere in between there. One of my clubs, I think it was like a 6-iron or something, was one of my longer irons. The steel shaft was just bent, like at a 30-degree angle. It's just like, what's going on with this? So technically it didn't break, but needed to be replaced anyway. So look at this steel. So steel shaft with this wrap around it, because people were expecting and demanding hickory shafted clubs. That's what they were used to. That's what they were looking for. It's been good enough for the last 200 years. Who am I to change it? So that's what they wanted. It's interesting. Let's get this under the microscope and have a closer look. So the first thing that we notice here is the lead tape. Can you see the lead tape? I'm not going to play with it. It's lead tape. I'm just going to leave it. That's how a lot of these are today. And looking at this, it looks pretty plain. You look at the toe, obviously a flanged putter. Flanged here on the heel as well. You have to really look at the sole. And then you can see it's a Spalding Bros putter HB, the hollow back putter. Originally came out in 1919. And this is a 30s model. Look at that. Look at that at address. Is that beautiful or what? And then there's this really long neck here, this really long hosel. You can see the shaft is pinned because you're always looking for that mechanical connection. We have this really long black ferrule. It has this red up here. I'm guessing some of it has broken off. We have some exposed steel. You can see rusty steel right here. And then this lovely coating. It feels like a kind of a vinyl or something. I'm not really sure. Either way, it looks like it's been taped up here. And then more exposed steel. 1930s, this is my sticker. And then this modified wrap. This is how it came. It just has like electrical tape and what looks like leather wrap. I have no idea what's underneath here. And on the butt, it's going to be hard to see, but it says LLRC ** target. So an interesting putter. And when you look at hickory clubs, you look for nicking. They kind of have some texture here. I don't know if I'd call that nicking. Maybe more of a crimp. the nicking. Anyway, that is the HB putter. I have some outdoor footage with this putter. Let's roll the outdoor footage first and then come back indoors. This putter feels amazing. It feels really soft, is what it feels like. Like, I've hit a lot of putters, we'll talk about some, but this feels brassy. Even though it has this nice chrome finish around the brass, it's just absolutely stunning. So very pleased with the way it feels, the way it looks. A little busy with the shaft. That's what they expected back then. Today it just looks a little, it stands out at address, let's say that. People are worried about distraction. There's a little nick on my putter and it's distracting. Try a hickory shafted putter. Things are different, you know. Before we talk too much about this, let's talk about some clubs that were inspired by or an evolution of designs that all date back to this idea. All right, so the hollow back putter, very similar to the Ironmaster putter, McGregor. For decades, this was a very popular putter from McGregor. The Ironmaster. Flanged putter, you know, there's some subtle differences, little shapes evolve here and there, weight, but a lovely design, all right? Ironmaster. What about the Bullseye flanged putters? Do you remember these? Acushnet Bullseye came out with flanged putters, and you'd see pros in major tournaments chip with them on the fringes and stuff of greens. It was super awesome. So flanged, but you know, again, this is a variation because we're adding a heel weight here. You know, so obviously heel weight more, the shaft is moving towards the center, but still a flanged putter. Huh, interesting how flanged putters are, you can see, withstanding the test of time. Arnold Palmer Personal, flanged putter, curved sole, so the flange is curved. So interesting evolution of that design, beautiful putter. This putter needs no introduction. The Wilson 8802, are you kidding me? They produced this for decades, more than 30, 40 years. I think they came out with their one recently in the last 10 years, 20 years. But time flies so quickly, I don't remember. The Wilson 8802 needs no introduction. Flanged putter, inspired from the original flanged, commercially available putter. Now here's one that catches people off guard. Wait, what about the Ping ZB? This is a Vault 2 ZB. This is the same ideas. Curved flange putter, you remember the Bullseye added a little heel weight, a little toe weight. It's a flanged putter. At address, it looks so similar to like the Arnold Palmer Personal. So a lovely 2019, 100 years after the hollow back came out, Ping came out with their own version of a flanged putter. It's stunning, it's beautiful. Nobody's complaining. It's absolute, I love it. And if you want to be the highlight of the dinner conversation on tonight, did you know that the Ping Answer putter can be defined as, and I've seen it described as, a heel toe weighted flanged putter? And you think about it, yeah, it's just a big flange they put back here with a heel toe weight. What? Where'd they get this idea of a flanged putter? I wonder where this idea came from. So my understanding is this Spalding Hollowback HB design was originally, that was the original mass-produced, commercially available flanged putter, which suggests that there are some that predate this, that were hand-forged, like Forgan and Sons, or I forgot to James Spence, you know, who were just like there with hammers and anvils and mild steel, and they're making their own putters, or brass, or whatever. So maybe there were some before this, and if you know like specifics, let us know in the comments below. Just a little tidbit of information here and there. I love stuff like that. So the Spalding Hollowback putter, all right? Now, you look at how this has changed over the years, and that's something I love about the vintage. I love this about vintage clubs, is nothing is a bigger test than the crucible of time. If a design is successful, it will last the years, right? And this design has. Flange putters still around today, 104 years after this design. So yes, it absolutely passes that test of, is it great? Yes, the design is great. The putter itself feels amazing. Now, what about other things in life? And this puts it into perspective. So one putter design, yeah, 104 years. What about communication? You know, the phone used to be attached to the wall, and then you'd have to pick up the earpiece and listen here and then talk into the, hello operator, can you connect me to? That's how it worked back then. Then you got, what, rotary phones, and then touch tone phones, and then cell phones, and then smartphones, and now you do the same thing. You just, in your car, hey, phone, call so-and-so, and they'll, you don't have to say hello operator, you just say, hey phone, call so-and-so. And it does it. It's smart. It knows what to do. So communication has changed dramatically. Transportation has changed dramatically, but a putter, the ideas behind this putter are still viable. They're still valid today. It's amazing. It's a wonderful design. I love that. So let me know your thoughts about flange putters. Any of them. The Nike Oz 2, the Answer putter, any of the Scotty Camerons that all have contributions from this putter, the flanged hollow back putter from Spalding. Any of them. Let me know your thoughts and comments. Happy memories with these putters. You could argue that a lot of the mallet putters aren't going to date back to this, like the 2-ball putter. I have a hard time trying to shoehorn that into that discussion. Let's hit a couple of putts with this. I'm sitting here waving this putter around, and it definitely should get some indoor putts in here while I'm talking about it. So, and the other thing I love about this putter, like I look at the Ping, Vault 2s, and they have these lovely weights that you can move around here and there and whatever. I love it how this was also adjustable. It was called lead tape. It's just like, you can weight it however you want. Put some lead in there. Take it to a grinder, Back when people weren't afraid of resale value because their clubs weren't quite so expensive. So yeah, gosh, it has such a soft feel and it sounds great. Like it's not quite as loud as like a Ping Ironmaster. It has that really soft feel. Let me use what do I want to use? Let's use the Wilson 8802 steel. This is a 90s version. Yeah, looking down at it, the shaft, so the neck is bent right here. So it's kind of like set back a little bit, and it does look a little bit different. The grip is obviously different, and the shaft is so clean. I'm not seeing that wood grain. So it's not distracting. It looks like it's just the club head with the ball there. Oh, that also feels good. Flange putters are great. Why are we still playing these? Because they're amazing. I could hit all these putters. We'll be here all day. All right. We'll save that for another day. So the Spalding HB hollowback putter, is it the best putter ever made? Like this is a 30s model. No, this isn't the best putter ever made. This one has not aged well. The head itself is absolutely stunning and amazing. Do I think it's the best ever? Oh, I would have a hard time saying that, but it was so influential, and that's what I love. And it's worth remembering. I'm going to keep this in my collection to always remember the contribution that Spalding made on golf. I mean, I know Bobby Jones loved Spalding because it seemed to make golf accessible to anybody. Everybody could go out and buy a set of Spalding clubs with Bobby Jones's name on it and play golf and have fun. And that's what golf is about. That's what we're here for. That's what this channel's about. I'm not about collecting. Ooh, let's invest in clubs and buy this and it's going to increase in value. I don't care about that. Spalding, HB, let me know your thoughts, comments, jokes, memories with any of the flanged putters. What's your favorite flanged putter ever of all time? Worth remembering the history of these amazing clubs. Thank you to my patrons. I really appreciate your support. I offer general support on Patreon, a few behind-the-scenes pictures, videos, updates. I also would like to thank everybody who shopped on my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I have some golf accessories and things in my Amazon shop. Feel free to browse those. The link is in the description. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe. I am the Vintage Golfer.